In the quiet hours before dawn, as the world lies suspended between sleep and waking, the Stoic reflects. Life, in all its noise and chaos, presents 1,000 opportunities to lose control over words, over emotions, over desires, and even over the very thoughts we nurture in the sanctuary of our minds. Yet the ancient Stoic understood a simple truth. Inner power is not attained by mastering others, but by mastering oneself. To walk the Stoic path is to embrace the discipline of control, of mouth, mood, money, and mind. Each a gateway to tranquility. Each a test of will. Begin with the mouth, that restless instrument of expression. Words once spoken cannot be reclaimed. The Stoic knows that speech is not merely communication, but an act of creation, shaping perceptions, forging or fracturing relationships, revealing character. Before uttering a word, pause. Ask, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Most conversations are a battlefield for ego and impulse. The undisciplined mouth rushes to judgment, lashes out in anger, gossips, flatters, or complains. But each reckless word is a chain that binds us to regret and misunderstanding. Silence, then, is not weakness, but strength. It is the space in which wisdom grows. The wise speak little, listen much, and choose their words with care, knowing that restraint is a virtue. One who controls the mouth is not drawn into petty arguments or idle chatter. Instead, he or she speaks only to enlighten, to resolve, to uplift, or to express gratitude. In the words of Epictetus, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. To govern one's speech is to free oneself from the tyranny of impulse and the burden of regret. Next, the mood. Emotions surge and subside like the tides, often catching us unaware. Anger, envy, sadness, excitement, all have their place in the human experience. But the Stoic is not a slave to feeling. He observes his mood as a passing cloud, acknowledging its presence but never mistaking it for the sky. Feelings are not facts. They are impressions, often distorted by expectation or memory. The goal is not to suppress emotion but to respond, not react. When anger arises, the Stoic does not lash out. He examines its source. Is it truly an offense or simply a wounded ego? When sadness lingers, he does not sink into despair, but seeks perspective, remembering that all things are transient. Joy is cherished, but not clung to, for it too will pass. The Stoic trains himself to remain steady amid life's storms, neither exultant in fortune nor despondent in adversity. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Mood is a reflection of judgment. If you believe that external events control your happiness, you are forever at their mercy. But if you understand that your response is always within your grasp, you become untouchable. A Stoic cultivates equanimity, a calm acceptance of what is, a refusal to be swept away by the passions of the moment. This is not indifference, but clarity. It is the freedom to choose one's attitude regardless of circumstance. Then comes money, the great illusionist. Wealth promises comfort, security, satisfaction. And yet, for those who chase it without end, money becomes a master, not a servant. The Stoic regards money neither with contempt nor with obsession, but with perspective. It is a tool, nothing more. It can buy comfort, but not contentment, pleasure, but not peace, influence, but not integrity. To control one's money is to master desire. The Stoic asks, "What do I truly need? What is necessary for a good life?" He is not seduced by luxury or status, for he knows that happiness is not found in possessions, but in purpose and principle. He spends with intention, saves with discipline, and gives with generosity. He is not anxious about loss, for he understands that fortune is fickle. What is gained today may be lost tomorrow, but virtue endures. The Stoic practices contentment. He finds abundance not in accumulation, but in appreciation. He is grateful for what he has, mindful of what he lacks, and unafraid of what he may lose. Money is a test of character. In abundance, it tempts us to vanity and excess. In scarcity, it tempts us to fear and envy. But the Stoic remains unmoved, holding fast to the conviction that true wealth is measured not by what he has, but by what he can do without. Finally, the mind, the innermost citadel. Here, in the silence of thought, the battle is won or lost. The mind is both a garden and a battlefield, teeming with seeds of wisdom and weeds of folly. To control the mind is to govern what you allow to take root. The Stoic is vigilant, examining thoughts as a sentinel examines travelers at the gate. Is this thought helpful or harmful? Does it serve virtue or vice? Does it lead to peace or to turmoil? Distractions abound in the modern world. The mind is assaulted by news, notifications, opinions, fears, and desires. The untrained mind is easily captured, restless, anxious, scattered. The Stoic, however, cultivates focus. He practices presence, returning again and again to the here and now, refusing to be pulled into the past or the future. He meditates on what is within his control and releases what is not. He chooses his thoughts as carefully as a craftsman chooses his tools. Self-examination is the Stoic's daily discipline. Each evening he reviews his actions, questions his motives, acknowledges his errors, and resolves to improve. He does not indulge self-pity or self-congratulation, but pursues self-knowledge. For only by knowing oneself can one change. The mind, once disciplined, becomes a source of serenity, clarity, and resilience. The Stoic path is not an easy one. It demands vigilance, patience, and humility. It is a lifelong practice, not a destination. But with each step, the rewards grow, the quiet confidence that comes from self-mastery, the freedom that comes from detachment, the peace that comes from acceptance. Consider the power of the mouth, the ability to heal or to harm with a single phrase. The Stoic chooses words that build, not break, words that clarify, not confuse, words that comfort, not condemn. He understands that a single word can change the course of a day or even a life. He speaks with intention, aware that silence is often wiser than speech. Reflect on the mood, the inner weather that colors every experience. The Stoic greets both joy and sorrow as visitors, learning from each but clinging to neither. He does not blame others for his feelings, nor does he allow circumstances to dictate his state of mind. He practices gratitude, finding beauty in the ordinary and lessons in adversity. When frustration arises, he pauses. When fear whispers, he listens, but does not obey. Examine your relationship with money. Do you own your possessions, or do they own you? The Stoic is not indifferent to comfort or success, but he refuses to be defined by them. He invests in experiences, not extravagance, in wisdom, not wealth. He is generous without expectation, secure without excess. He knows that life's greatest treasures, a clear conscience, a noble purpose, a loving heart, are beyond the reach of fortune. And above all, guard your mind. The thoughts you nurture become the beliefs that shape your destiny. A mind filled with envy, anger, or fear cannot know peace. A mind disciplined by reason and guided by virtue is an impregnable fortress. The Stoic trains his mind through study, reflection, and meditation. He questions assumptions, challenges prejudices, and seeks truth. He does not dwell on what he cannot change, but acts boldly where he can. To control the mouth, the mood, the money, and the mind is to reclaim the power that is your birthright. It is to live each day with intention, integrity, and inner freedom. The world may be unpredictable, but your response need not be. The Stoic embraces uncertainty, finding in it not chaos, but opportunity, the chance to practice virtue, to grow in wisdom, to serve others with compassion. Remember, mastery is not perfection. The Stoic stumbles, as all humans do. He speaks in haste, feels anger, covets what he does not have, entertains foolish thoughts. But he does not resign himself to weakness. Each mistake is a lesson, each failure a reminder to begin again. Progress, not perfection, is the Stoic's aim. Consider each morning a new beginning, a chance to speak with greater wisdom, to feel with greater balance, to live with greater simplicity, to think with greater clarity. The Stoic path is not about withdrawing from the world, but engaging it with courage and composure. It is about bringing order to chaos, peace to conflict, meaning to the mundane. When tempted to speak harshly, pause. When emotions surge, breathe. When desire for more clouds your judgment, remember what is truly necessary. When thoughts run wild, return to the present. In these small acts of control, you forge a character unshaken by fate. The world will test you, people will misunderstand you, circumstances will disappoint you, fortune will rise and fall, but within you lies a power greater than any external force, the power to choose your response, to shape your destiny, to live in accordance with nature and reason. This is the Stoic's secret, the source of his serenity in a world of turmoil. Do not wait for the world to change. Begin with yourself. Speak with honesty, act with compassion, live with restraint, think with clarity. In doing so, you become a beacon of calm in a sea of chaos, an example of strength in a culture of excess. Your life becomes your message. In the end, the Stoic does not seek praise or recognition. He is content to walk his path in silence, knowing that true power is not in dominion over others, but in mastery of the self. He understands that the measure of a life is not found in words or wealth, but in the quiet dignity of a mind at peace. So each day return to the fundamentals. Control your mouth. Speak less, listen more, and let your words be a blessing. Control your mood, observe your emotions, accept them, and choose your response. Control your money, desire less, give more, and measure wealth by character, not by coin. Control your mind. Question your thoughts, nurture wisdom, and seek truth above comfort. This is the Stoic path to inner power, a journey not outward, but inward. It is a discipline that transforms not just moments, but lives. It is a practice that, over time, brings forth the highest virtues: courage in adversity, temperance in abundance, justice in action, and wisdom in all things. Let each sunrise find you a little wiser, a little stronger, a little more at peace. For in mastering yourself, you unlock the greatest freedom of all, the freedom to live as nature intended, in harmony with reason, guided by virtue, undisturbed by the turmoil of the world. The Stoic endures, not because life is easy, but because he has discovered an inner strength that no force can break. He has learned that the true measure of a person is not found in outward success, but in the quiet victory of self-mastery. Walk this path. Embrace the challenge. For in controlling your mouth, mood, money, and mind, you discover not only who you are, but who you are capable of becoming. A Stoic in the truest sense. Powerful not because you command the world, but because you command yourself.